Welcome to Brand Economy News, where we bring you the latest, most interesting news. We have heard several reports around Earth of reverse gravity. So this is what you might expect. Just gravity, things falling downwards. But no, they're falling upwards. We have a few clips to show you that demonstrate the effects of reverse gravity. Now watch as this pile of white printer paper flows up into this one person's hand. We have never seen this before. We now have a demonstration. Watch as this pile of coins in this box flows upwards to where it is falling from. It is amazing. Now we have Dr. Walker, who will explain what has happened and why it is happening.
So I'm going to talk a little bit today about the phenomenon of reverse gravity that we've been seeing all around us, all the time now. Like, look at this water bottle. It's just being propelled upwards for some crazy reason. Some with this marker, everything is being repelled upwards. And so this phenomenon of reverse gravity is due to this giant asteroid that is very close to the Earth. The mass of this asteroid, even though it's actually a small-looking asteroid, it's a super dense object, and the mass is just ginormous. So the reason why objects are flying in the air the opposite direction instead of falling downwards through the air like they normally do is because of the gravitational field due to this asteroid.
This next phenomenon is really strange. Humans have 5 senses. These 5 senses, due to the phenomenon, have been heightened. We have video footage of this one person catching miscellaneous objects. There are multiple objects, but somehow he uses these superhuman senses to catch all of these miscellaneous objects in one hand. Now watch his stance, and watch how he catches them. It is unbelievable. We have 3 demonstrations of people jumping onto the same ledge. Now we have Rhett Seeloff to explain why this is happening.
Everybody knows that when a person is blind, their hearing doubles in effectiveness. It's like the legend of the old blind samurai. The old blind samurai could hear even when a sword was unsheathed and could defeat any foe because his hearing was so good. So it would apply to anything. Like if you get your arm blown off, your other arm would get super strong and muscular because you're only using your other arm, so you'd be the best arm wrestler in the world. Or an eye patch. You see really good through that one eye, right? Makes sense.
This is our 3rd demonstration. Watch as my assistant Braulio Campana retrieves water from a bucket and puts it into a kettle. Now I have Dr. McCall to explain why this has happened. So Dr. McCall, can you explain why water goes from the bucket into the kettle?
Well, it's really quite simple. Water molecules, we know they're made of H2O. The oxygen is more electronegative than the hydrogens. That means it pulls the electrons towards itself more, meaning that water is a polar molecule, with the oxygen being partially negative and the hydrogen is partially positive. This creates the cohesive properties of water that you see when you see water droplets forming on a pane of glass. The water sticks together because of hydrogen bonding between the oxygen of one water molecule and the hydrogen of another. So this cohesion is what enables water to be sucked up by trees. So in the same way that the water is moving up the tree, so it is moving from the bucket back into the kettle. Now this is all to do with osmotic potential. You can think of this as the concentration of the water molecules. Because there is a large number of water molecules in the bucket, that's a high concentration of water. So it will diffuse from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration in the kettle. The reason the water molecules can do this, of course, is because of that cohesion between the individual water molecules, allowing them to stick together and move en masse back into the kettle.
No one else has seen this phenomenon happen except me. So I have taken the initiative to name this phenomenon. I call it reverse.